Hello, hello, my lovelies. It's Rebecca E. Parsons, and we are back today to journal the word in our book of notes. We are back today to create a fairly happy background as we prepare to go in to Holy Week next week. So we are just going to use some happy spring colors, some pink and some yellow. I am going to use some washi tape. If you haven't heard of washi tape, it's kind of like a paper tape. It would be my best description of it. It tears easily, and it also will go down on paper, but you can lift it off. You don't have to keep it there. So anyway, we're going to be using what's called washi tape, W-A-S-H-I is how you spell it. We're going to be using an old sea sponge. This is kind of like the one you would use in the bathroom. It's supremely soft, supremely. Big brush. You can use a sponge brush. You can use any kind of a brush you have around the house. So let's just get started. Let me first get out some colors here on the palette. Just put some yellow and some pink. Happy, happy spring colors. All right, and it doesn't make any difference what your tape looks like. These washi tapes all have beautiful patterns on them. They come in different sizes and widths, so just get some. And if you don't have washi tape, you could use masking tape, as long as you would know that you can't pull it back up off the paper. Once you put masking tape on there, it's pretty much stuck. So what I'm going to do is just come in and make some patterning on our paper, on our sketchbook. And I love what happened when that crossed. I must have paint on my hands because I'm getting it on the tape already before we've even started. You know, messy mama here. And I'm going to come and put another piece here. And I'm kind of loving that. I wasn't thinking about leaving it, but I might see if that might happen. And I think I'm going to stop there. And maybe... If that's the hardest decision I have today, is where to put my washi tape. That'll be a good day, won't it? Okay. So there we go. I think we're good. And if I don't leave this tape, my intent was to pull it off. If I don't leave it, then I may come back and do something later on where I use that washi tape. Because I am really liking these areas where it crosses. I didn't much like that washi tape to begin with. It was kind of bland and plain, that little just green stripe. So there you go. You always find something new when you're in your art studio making art, and that's what I love so much about it. Okay, we're going to use this sponge like I used to do faux finishing, and I taught faux finishing for years, so I'm going to teach you a couple of tricks from there and about how to use a sponge. Okay, so we're going to start with our pink color. And I'm just going to load some on the sponge. And I'm going to offload some of it over here on the plate, because I don't want a full bunch of color coming off. Because let me show you what would happen. Let me find a scrap card here and show you if I came in with that full loaded, it would just make a blob, and that's not what I want. I'm going to want these nice feathery little marks. So I hope that makes sense. We don't want the blob. Oh, that's good sometimes. That's not what we're after today. So another thing that people do wrong when they are using a sponge is they will come in and just go bloop, 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 and you will have repetitive marks because you didn't change the position of your sponge. So the real correct way to do sponge is to change your position as you are working around the page or the wall or whatever you're working on. So we're just going to start up in this corner. And I'm just going to go lightly. I'm not putting very much pressure at all. But every time I'm patting, it's just kind of like patting like a baby's face. How about that? If you were patting your child's face or something, that's the kind of pressure I'm using. Just a sweet, loving tap. But every time I tap, I am changing the position of the sponge. And getting these lovely marks, nothing repetitive. And that's not what we want to do, although we can walk it right down the page. Another thing people used to do is just take the sponge and go bloop, 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 and then maybe turn it and go bloop, 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 and turn it this way and go bloop, 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 and it was very spotty and very, it just wasn't good. And that's why sponge painting got such a bad reputation, because so many people were trying to do it that didn't really know how to do it. Okay. So that's really all I'm going to do. I'm going to put this in my water right now and just let that paint kind of soak out while I come in here with my yellow. And what I want to do is make a really, really light wash of the yellow. I do not want it. And I think I'm getting into some mess there on my plate. Let me get a different plate. That's what happens, Rebecca, when you reuse your plates 100 times. But I practiced a little bit before I started today, so that paint probably isn't quite dry yet. So let's start over, because I want this to be bright yellow. And I'm going to come in and just make it very inky. Very, 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 very inky. There's way more water than there is paint. Can you see that running around on the palette? See how watery that is? That's what we're going for. And I'm going to come in and just brush over. Get a little bit more if you need it. I kind of want it to touch every spot. And I think I'm going to leave that washi tape. I was going to lift it up, and I was going to paint over the yellow wash. Was going to go over and make these areas just plain yellow. And I will turn to the back of my book here where I practice. Where I do my practice pages before I come on screen. And this is kind of what it looked like. I added some green in there, and I didn't like that, because if you know anything about color theory, you know that like red and green, in this case pink and green, will mix together if they're wet and turn into mud or a brown shade. That's how you make brown. You take two complementary colors and put them together, and they will make brown. That's just a tip for you to know. So anyway, I didn't like the green. I liked it when I just left the yellow and the pink on there, but I did not like the green. But I like the green of that washi tape back there. How about that? So I think I'm going to come in change your mind. You can always change your mind. That's what I love about art, is these happy things that happen along the way. I'm going to squeeze out pretty much most of the water that was in my sponge that I was soaking over there, and I'm going to come back in and get some more pink, because I want to add just a little more pink here and there. And it's not going to be everywhere at all. It's just going to be random, very much random. And I'm going to go over some of the washi tape. And I think we're kind of good there. We're getting it, we're making it happen. We've got some yellow, we've got some beautiful pinks, and we've got some of that green coming in with our washi tape. So I think I love it, and I think I love how it turned out. And I don't know that you'll ever find this washi tape, because some of my stash is really, really old, but you'll find something that you like out there. Okay, I'm going to leave that as it is. And what else do I need to tell you? I think we're good. I hope you love this as much as I do. And this is Rebecca, and I will see you tomorrow for a wonderful little chat, a Sunday inspiration chat on Palm Sunday, just to give us a little bit of hint about where we're going to go during Holy Week next week, because we're almost finished with this course, and I am excited to move on to our next journey. But anyway, I don't want to give my Sunday inspiration chat today. So anyway, may joy be with you all.